Dear friends, today we are going to share with you a true and heartbreaking story, which after hearing will shake the ground beneath your feet and will force you to think, can something like this really happen? So please watch today's video till the end. Do give a like to the video, and if you're new to our channel, subscribe. So let's begin. A widow mother had 3 young daughters who were not yet married. Suddenly they became pregnant. They didn't go out much, nor did they interact much with anyone. So the question is, who was the person that committed such a heinous act with those 3 girls? Was it their own father, or a stepbrother? Or was it a step-uncle, maternal uncle, brother-in-law, or some other close relative, someone they trusted, someone they never expected anything like this from? This incident shocked the entire village. Even the walls of the house trembled when the truth came out in front of everyone. So, without wasting any more time, let's hear that shameful story, which proves that not all wild beasts roam outside. Some hide among us wearing the mask of innocence, a face that seems the most trustworthy. This is the story of a sorrowful, hard-working, and poor widow whose name was Bibi Halima. Her husband had passed away many years ago, and she had a son from her first husband, who stayed with his mother even after her second marriage. Later, Bibi Halima got married again. From that husband, she had 6 daughters. They were very beautiful, shy, and modest. Her second husband also didn't live for long. Halima became a widow again, but she left no stone unturned in raising her daughters. She lived in a small hut with her 6 daughters. She used to work all day long, washing dishes at people's homes, washing clothes. And the small amount of food and money she earned through hard work was all they had to survive on. Her son from her first husband, Kamrul, was older in age, and he lived in the house from the beginning. Though Kamrul was Bibi Halima's son from her first husband, her other 6 daughters considered Kamrul as their own brother. Everything was going well when suddenly a storm came that left Halima completely devastated. One day, Halima's eldest daughter fell seriously ill. She became very weak, started feeling dizzy. At first, no one understood what had happened to her. Then, when the condition gradually worsened, she was taken to a hospital in the city. The doctor checked and said, "Your daughter is pregnant." As soon as she heard that, it was like Halima's world turned upside down. She was shocked. Her daughters were still unmarried. They were very well-mannered, decent, and modest. Then how did this happen? Who did it? When did it happen? And why did it happen? Halima was traumatized at first. She scolded her daughter a lot. She said many things. But when her daughter started crying and said, "Mother, I have never even seen anyone. Please believe me," Halima's heart broke into pieces. She realized her daughter was telling the truth. But before a few days could pass after this incident, one by one her second and third daughters also became pregnant. And all of them said just one thing: "We don't know anything." They said, "Mother, we don't know anything. We swear by God we don't know anything." This incident shattered that helpless woman from inside. She cried all day, kept thinking, but she couldn't understand anything. Then one day she went to the court of Sultanabad's emperor, Shah Yazdan. It was in the morning when she appeared in the court. The emperor was sitting on his throne listening to everyone's problems, one by one. Suddenly Bibi Halima entered the court. Her entire face was drenched with tears. Her clothes were covered in dust. She didn't even have any shoes on her feet. There was only one question in her eyes: "When will I get justice?" The emperor saw Bibi Halima and asked, "Why are you crying? What is your pain?" Bibi Halima looked around and fell silent. One of the ministers stepped forward and said, "Please speak. What has happened to you?" "You've come to the royal court. Open your mouth. Tell us your problem. Tell us your pain." But Bibi Halima said, "Your Majesty, I want to speak to you in private. My problem is so personal that if I say it in front of everyone, I will have no dignity left tomorrow." The emperor was slightly surprised, but seeing the helpless look on the woman's face and the pain in her voice, he said, "Bring her to my private chamber. I will listen to her." A soldier took Bibi Halima to the emperor's private room. Once there, Bibi Halima suddenly fell at the emperor's feet. She began to cry like a madwoman. The emperor's heart melted. He said, "Listen, you are like a mother to me. Your pain is my pain. Whatever your problem is, tell me everything. If there is any inhuman creature in my kingdom, then I will surely have him impaled." Then Bibi Halima began to speak to Emperor Alim with a voice full of sorrow. "Your Majesty, I am a widow. My first husband died many years ago. I have a son from that husband who still lives with us. Then I got married again, and from that husband I had 6 daughters. But with the cruelty of time, that husband also didn't live long, and I became a widow again. The responsibility of 6 children fell upon my shoulders. Your Majesty, I work all day in people's houses, cleaning, washing their dishes, washing their clothes. Whatever leftover food they give me, I feed that to my children and keep them alive. My daughters are very well mannered, modest and covered. They never go outside alone. Their heads are always covered and their eyes are always lowered. This is how life was going. One day suddenly my eldest daughter fell ill. She became very weak, kept fainting and vomiting. I took her to a doctor in the city. The doctor checked and said, "Your daughter is pregnant." As soon as I heard that, the ground slipped from under my feet. My daughter isn't even married yet. How could I accept this news calmly? I got very angry. After bringing her home in a fit of rage, I scolded her a lot, beat her, slapped her, and asked, "Who did this to you? Whose child is this?" But my daughter kept crying and fell at my feet, saying, "Mother, I don't know. I swear by Allah, I have never spoken to anyone. I've never even looked at anyone. I haven't stepped outside the house. I'm telling the truth. I don't know how any of this happened." "Your Majesty, she is my daughter. I gave birth to her, raised her with care." I can understand when my daughter is speaking the truth and when she is lying. I realized my daughter is telling the truth. I silently endured everything. My daughter gave birth to the child, and I took that child in my arms with care. But a few months later, my second daughter also started falling ill. I took her to the doctor in the city, and I heard the same thing again. "Your daughter is pregnant." I was shocked. My hands and feet went cold. Who is doing this? Why are they doing this? When and how is it happening? No one even comes to our house, and my daughters don't go outside. Your Majesty, as if that much disaster wasn't enough, a few days later, my third daughter also started falling ill. And she too was pregnant. I kept patience, quietly prayed to Allah. "Oh Allah, please let me know who is doing this. Give me the strength to find some proof. You are Allah. Give me some kind of sign so that I can know who is committing this heinous crime against my daughters." My patience has reached its limit. I want to know who is that inhuman who is stealing the innocence of my innocent daughters and then disappearing silently. I want justice, Your Majesty. I want fairness. Saying this, Bibi Halima fell at the emperor's feet. Silence spread across the entire court. Emperor Hassan's face turned stern. He decided this is no longer just a mother's problem. This has now become a question of the entire kingdom. Hearing Bibi Halima's words, the royal court went completely silent. Emperor Yazdan stood up from his throne, took a deep breath, and said, "Mother, you came to me only now to complain. After your 3 daughters' lives have already been ruined. You should have come to me the moment your first daughter became pregnant. If you had come to me then, maybe your other 2 daughters wouldn't have had to face this fate. But it is also true that helpless people hide many truths for fear of disgrace. To protect their daughter's honor, they endure such crimes silently. They bear all the pain themselves for the happiness of their daughters. And when this pain becomes unbearable, they make the right decision. Mother, you are also one of those people who make the right decision very late." Bibi Halima lowered her head in shame. Crying, she said, "Your Majesty, you are right. I should have come much earlier, but what was meant to happen has already happened. Now I only want the criminal behind my daughter's suffering to be caught. Who is that beast silently destroying our lives?" The king looked at the woman. In his eyes burned the fire of revenge. He said, "Mother, this is not just your problem anymore. Now it is a matter of the entire kingdom's honor. As long as I am alive, no civilized, decent, and modest girl's honor shall be taken away. If there is a helpless mother in my kingdom who feels powerless, then I do not want that kingdom. Go now, mother, rest. It is now my responsibility to ease your pain." Bibi Halima, with tear-filled eyes, lovingly embraced the king, and with eyes wet with tears, returned home from the court. King Yazdan returned to the court and continued listening to everyone's statements. But only one thing was circling in his mind. He kept thinking, who is he who roams around like an angel in the daylight, and in the darkness of night, like a beast, steals the honor of a mother's 3 innocent children? After court was dismissed, the king went to his room and called his minister. The minister, seeing a strange shadow of mystery on the king's face, asked, "Your Majesty, what is it that is destroying you from within?" The king replied in a voice full of sorrow, "Minister, there is such a beast in my kingdom, who has committed such a heinous crime that even the wild animals of the forest would bow their heads in shame upon hearing it. He has played with the honor of 3 daughters of a helpless mother. That helpless mother came crying to my court today. Is this the law of nature now, that only the powerful will commit injustice against the helpless?" The minister said, "This is indeed a grave crime, Your Majesty. Tell me, what should we do now?" The king replied, "I want to know, who is this person? When does he come? How did he enter the house and destroy the life of a helpless woman? We must unmask him." The minister began to think. Then, slowly stepping forward, he said, "Your Majesty, even the walls have ears. I do have an idea, but I cannot say it in front of everyone." The king bowed his head and said, "Come to me and tell me quickly." The minister stepped forward and whispered something into the king's ear, an idea that would not only help catch the criminal, but also catch him red-handed in the act. The king ordered, "Go. Execute your plan immediately." That very night the minister arrived at Bibi Halima's house with a dog. When Bibi Halima heard a knock at the door, she opened it and said, "Minister, you here?" The minister respectfully replied, "Mother, ever since you spoke of your pain to the king, he has not been able to sleep a single moment. We will surely find that inhuman beast, but for that, we need some time." Seeing the dog in the minister's hand, Bibi Halima asked in surprise, "Minister, why have you brought a dog? What will you do with a dog?" The minister replied softly but cautiously, "Mother, first take me inside the house. Then I will explain everything." Halima opened the door. The minister entered the house and said, "Tonight, through this dog, we will unmask that criminal. You all just have to stay silent. Not a single sound must be made. You will have to act as if you know nothing. If our plan works, we will surely catch that criminal." Saying this, the minister tied the dog outside the house at such a spot where someone could jump down. He said, "No one will scream tonight. Just stay quiet and watch everything. We have tied the dog outside because the moment that person enters the house, the dog will start barking, and our soldiers will begin their work immediately." The minister ordered 2 guards to patrol around the house. Then he comforted Bibi Halima and her 3 daughters and left the place. He went straight to the king and said everything. The king asked the minister, "Were you able to do the job properly? Have you tied the dog in the right place?" The minister, lowering his head, replied, "Yes, Your Majesty, I did everything exactly as you instructed. If that inhuman beast comes to their house tonight as well, he will not return alive." The king said, "Listen, minister, I will not be able to sleep until I punish that monster properly. A helpless woman is suffering so much with her 3 daughters. I cannot accept that. I cannot tolerate injustice toward any helpless person." Slowly night passed by. Silence fell upon the entire village. In the moonlight, silence and fear prevailed. Then, at midnight, a shadow was seen on the roof of Bibi Halima's house. A man jumped down from the roof and landed with one leap. But immediately, the dog saw the man and started barking. The dog barked so loudly that Halima and her daughters woke up. Even the guards posted nearby woke up. Bibi Halima held her daughters close and sat silently. She thought, "Has the beast arrived?" Halima's heartbeat began to rise. The guards rushed into the house. That masked man was trying to escape. The guards grabbed him tightly. His hands and legs were tied, and he was thrown to the ground. His face was covered with a black cloth. He tried to hide his identity. But when the guard pulled and tore the black cloth off his face, Bibi Halima and her daughters screamed. They couldn't believe their own eyes. It was the person they trusted the most. It was their stepbrother, who had grown up with them since childhood. The one whom all 6 sisters considered their own brother. Morning came. In the royal court, that criminal sat kneeling, handcuffed, head lowered. People stared at him. Bibi Halima stood still, like stone. It was time to unmask the criminal and bring the truth to light. At that time, the man was sitting on his knees in the court, with a black cloth over his face and handcuffs on his hands. Bibi Halima entered the court with her 6 daughters. King Yazdan cleared the court. Now only the king, Bibi Halima, her 6 daughters, the minister, and the criminal were present. The king shouted, "Didn't your chest tremble once while committing such a heinous crime? Don't you know the punishment for dishonoring women in my kingdom?" Then he ordered the minister, "Remove the mask from this criminal's face. I want to see the face of the one who has dishonored a mother's 3 blessings." As soon as the black cloth was removed from his face, a strange silence fell over the entire court. In Bibi Halima's eyes, a storm of shock, pain, and rage erupted. She said, "Kamrul! You did this to my daughters?" Kamrul, Bibi Halima's stepson. He was the child from her husband's previous marriage. After Kamrul's mother died, his father married Bibi Halima. Still, Bibi Halima never treated Kamrul differently from her own 6 daughters. She raised all 7 children with love and care. She never showed any partiality between her biological children and her stepson, and the one whom the 6 girls used to call Bhaijan. Bibi Halima stepped forward and spat on her stepson's face. She said, "Animal, inhuman. You didn't feel ashamed once while doing such a vile act? My little children grew up with you. In their time of need, the only person to protect them was you, their elder brother. You were their brother. You were supposed to protect them. And instead you turned into a monster before them." Halima slapped Kamrul hard. Seeing the downfall of the one they had always considered their elder brother, Halima's 6 daughters started crying silently. The king immediately drew his sword and placed it in front of Kamrul's throat. He said, "Now speak. Tell the truth. Why did you do this? If a single word is a lie, this sword will separate your head from your body." Kamrul began to speak in a trembling voice. Fear was clearly visible on his face. "Your Majesty, I am Bibi Halima's stepson. Her 6 daughters are my stepsisters. My mother died when I was very young. Then my father married Bibi Halima. She raised me with much love and care. But I hated her from the inside. But when her other 6 daughters started growing up, seeing their beauty, my mind began to change. My intentions started to become evil, but I knew they would never accept me. I told Bibi Halima to marry off her elder daughter. But she did not take my words seriously. I thought, they are all girls. One day they will get married and leave. And then a devil inside me awakened. My greed blinded me. In my mind I thought, in the darkness of night, I can enjoy them if I want. No one will be able to catch me. Just thinking that, I plotted a plan. I went to a hakim and told him, give me such herbs whose smell makes people unconscious. I used to bring that herb from the hakim, which once someone smells makes them unconscious for 4 to 5 hours. In the dark of night I would enter the house through the roof. Then I would make everyone smell that herb. Everyone would become unconscious. Then I would complete my dirty act. After finishing, I would dress her in such a way so that in the morning she wouldn't understand anything that had happened during the night. Then I would come down through the roof. No one could even realize what crime I had committed. I did this many times for several months. If I realized that a dog was tied downstairs, then I would return. But I thought maybe the dog was brought just for keeping. My focus was only on my evil intentions. That's why, even last night I tried to enter my sister's room, and I got caught. After saying this, he went silent. Silence spread across the court. On Bibi Halima's face there was the pain of being a failed mother. In her daughter's eyes, shock and tears. The king fumed with anger, his face turned pale. The king looked at the minister and gave a signal. The minister drew his sword and stepped forward, and with one blow he severed that stepbrother Kamaral's head from his body. For a moment his body trembled, and then became silent forever. Justice was served in the court. The king looked at Bibi Halima and said in a soft voice, "Mother, if only you had come to the court earlier, maybe your 3 daughters wouldn't have suffered so much. But now, what's done is done. I promise, I will give your 3 daughters their rightful place. The place they deserve." Then the king chose 3 young men from his court, who were honest, wealthy, and righteous, and got them married to Bibi Halima's 3 daughters. Shoes, gold, silver, wealth, all were given. Bibi Halima fell at the king's feet and started crying. And she kept thanking the king again and again. The king Salamath said, "When your other 3 daughters become of marriageable age, then let me know. I will find good grooms for them. No girl in my kingdom is helpless. Every helpless woman is my mother, and every helpless sister is my sister." In this way, that just king gave a helpless mother her rightful justice, and gave that inhuman beast the punishment he deserved. If injustice is happening to you, then stop being silent. Stop fearing shame or worrying about society. Raise your voice against the criminal. Raise your voice for your rights. Because if you stay silent, then the world will take everything from you. Whoever helps the helpless, Allah the Almighty helps him. Hadith, Muslim. The best among you is the one who is best to his family, and I am the best among you to my family. O Allah, let this story be a lesson for dishonest people, and through this story give guidance to everyone who hears it. If you liked our story today, then please like the video, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you can hear more educational stories like this one. Allah Hafiz.